local, late breaking. You're watching WAND Nightcast.
A Central Illinois doctor born and raised in Chicago spends his free time establishing a baseball museum in the Windy City. Dr. David Fletcher is a local physician but also an avid baseball fan, along with an advisory board that includes such names as former White Sox star Minnie Minoso and broadcast icon Jack Brickhouse. Fletcher is hoping to gain support and funding in the coming months for a museum which would highlight Chicago's baseball past.
I feel that Chicago doesn't get its due for being really the capital of baseball. We may have some narrow trophy cases, but it's still an outstanding place.
And you can hear more from Dr. Fletcher in his Chicago Baseball Museum project this Sunday on WND's Town Team Reports.
All right, look forward to that. Some exciting sports news tonight, Steve.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching WAND News Weekend Report.
One local doctor has been spending a lot of time in Chicago lately, but this has nothing to do with medicine. In your Town Team Report from the Windy City, our Warren Briniger shows you why.
Dr. David Fletcher practices in Central Illinois, but he's been spending a lot of time in Chicago because of this, the Chicago Baseball Museum.
I feel that Chicago doesn't get its due for being really the capital of baseball. We may have some narrow trophy cases, but it's still an outstanding place.
The Baseball Museum is still in its infancy. A feasibility study has been initiated, and the museum has the backing of both Major League Baseball teams in the city. Representatives from the Negro and Women's Leagues also support the museum, both having historical roots in Chicago.
We really believe that within 2 or 3 years, this is going to be a major tourist attraction for the city of Chicago, and that's what we're hoping for.
And Fletcher says those in Central Illinois will play a key role in the success of the museum.
There's, I think, a great groundswell of Chicago baseball fans in Central Illinois. And I think even the fact that there's a lot of Cardinal fans, sort of the dividing between Cubs and Cardinals territory, it actually makes it even for a more exciting local culture.
The Chicago Baseball Museum would cover many facets of the national pastime in the Windy City, including the origins of 2 charter members of Major League Baseball. The National Negro League and Women's League would also be celebrated by the museum.
It's more than just the game. It's the history. It's the connection of the generations. It's the father-daughter, father-son relationships that cultivate families, how cities grew up around baseball parks, how it's the seasonal rhythms of the game.
If the museum does become a reality, Fletcher hopes the Central Illinois faithful will take part in the celebration of baseball history.
I feel Decatur is a far south suburb. That's kind of my universe. I listen to all the Cubs and Sox games on the radio, come up here a lot. Just, you know, it's a 2.5, 3 hour commute, and so I'm within that universe. I just live further out.
With your Town Team Report in Chicago, Warren Briniger, WAND News.
And many Chicago sports icons are supporting the Baseball Museum, including former baseball stars Ernie Banks and Minnie Minoso.